Salve omnes. Back here, it's book 4 of the Aeneid, lines 160 through 172. We encounter Aeneas and Dido on what was to be a hunting trip, but Venus um, and Juno have conspired to get Venus and Aeneas to fall in love, and this is part of their plot or their plan. So let's have a listen. So, meanwhile, the sky begins to be mixed with a large or loud rumble. A rainstorm or cloud follows, with sleet having been mixed in. And the Tyrian comrades here and there, and the Trojan youth, and the Trojan grandson of Venus sought or made for the different or various or diverse shelters or roofs, right? So texta is the word for roof, but here is probably meaning homes or shelters, through the fields, out of dread, out of fear, or with fear. The rivers rush down from the mountains. Dido and the Trojan leader come down to the same cave. Right, we have some chiasmus here, right? Some rainbow pattern. Both Earth first, so this is capitalized, so Mother Earth like Gaia. So both Earth first and foremost, and Juno as matron, or I guess mother-in-law, give the signal, give the sign. Fires shone, or fires burned, I suppose. And again, Ignace here, right? Remember from our Ovid, Pyramus and Thisbe, that these are like the sacred symbol of marriage, the fire torches. And the upper air, the air, a witness to the marriage. So here we have a dative witness to the marriage. And the nymphs shrieked. So this verb should be u, lu, la, wuderund. All right. Again, that syncopation, some of the syllables in the middle have been taken out, or some of the sounds in the middle, and they shrieked from the top of the summit, from the top of the hill. That first day, that first day was the cause of, this is a genitive, the cause for or cause of death, and the cause of evil things. All right. So leti is here a genitive. It's called a partitive genitive, right? So malorum would also be a partitive genitive. The first the cause for of evil things, the cause for of evil things. It completes causa down here. And this language will be borrowed later on. For Dido, here's a subject. Dido is not moved by her appearance or by her reputation, by her fame. Then we have and. She does not think about her secret love any longer. So she, Dido, no longer thinks on her secret love. She, Dido, calls it marriage. She conceals her guilt, her blame, her guilt in this name. All right, so that's lines 160 through 172. So here, it's very, very important, I think, at the end of this line 172, that she calls this marriage. And it's not Wokant, it's not they call this marriage. And then also, too, here, thinking about her kolpam, her blame, her guilt. She and her sister Anna, who we'll meet later on, have this discussion. She is falling in love with Aeneas. That's her secret love. And she's not sure that she should go for it because, again, we'll talk about this later, but she has, she had a husband before who's killed by her brother, Sychaeus, who will be mentioned later on in Book 6, and also maybe a little later here. But it's kind of important that she's on or looking for love again when she said that she would never do so. So perhaps that is her blame or her guilt. Also here too, this is highly prophetic. Ille dies primus laeti primusque malorum causa fuit. Whose destruction, whose death and destruction are we forecasting here? It's important to note. One other thing I want to talk about up here, there's this here and this here. This is called enjambment. It's a poetic device. You hear how the line, one word of the line spills onto the next, right? And then we would expect some type of long, short, right there. And also, it also does it here on line 166 again. So spelunkum all the way to devenient is where we find our verb for the sentence. And again, this is enjambment because it spills over into the next line, usually one or two. And then again down here in 170, causa fuit, right? So it delays to the cause. It was the cause of. Other grammatical elements to point out, right? We have commixta grandine. We have an ablative absolute. That's a favorite. We do have a passive verb, movetur, and meditator, although meditator is one of those passive verbs, but translates actively, otherwise known as a deponent. Right, so a lot to unpack there. Again, line 172 is kind of the most important one here. Again, who considers this a marriage, and who conveniently is left out. So this will be important later on, as we'll see. All right, so that's it for now. Again, that's lines 160 through 172. Book 4 of the Aeneid. Valete omnes.